All right, let's talk about the fourth round selection that's taken the world by storm. Aidan O'Connell of the Las Vegas Raiders, who's really had a great preseason and I think shown that he has, upside maybe higher than we had realized. I think that, when I made my quarterback evaluations, I was kind of looking at who could be the next Brock Purdy type, and I did put Aidan O'Connell in my top 10 list as kind of one of those guys who has the potential, but again, who knows? Every draft, there's like 4 or 5 of those guys who could be the next Brock Purdy, and usually they don't hit. Like Stetson Bennett is another guy who you could say could be the next Brock Purdy, but he hasn't had a good preseason. So the first step in being the next Brock Purdy is, like Brock Purdy did, have a good preseason. And so Aidan O'Connell had 2 very good games already. What about game 3? So this play is going to be a 4th down and 3. You have a receiver running a quick slant route. That's the way this play is designed to work. Okay, makes sense. Get rid of the football quickly on a crucial down. Players are covering the middle of the field, but it's just a one-on-one matchup on the outside, and O'Connell is going to be taking a snap on the hash marks on that side of the screen, so pretty good angle to make this throw. Watch how you're going to see O'Connell takes the snap. He looks over. His receiver is cutting right now. O'Connell's in the throwing motion right now. This is well-timed. Everything's looking good so far. And when he makes his throw, everything finishes good as well. Accurate throw, good route by the receiver, able to pick up a first down. There you go. That's exactly what you want to see by the Raiders, is just him being able to run the offense. Again, what does Josh McDaniels want out of an offense? He wants a, quarterback who's just going to make the simple throws, make the underneath stuff, hit the open guy, all of that good stuff, get rid of the football quickly, and that's what O'Connell is doing for him so far. Like something like this is another one where it's, again, pretty similar kind of idea where it's now going to be a cover 1 blitz. So slight difference in the last play that really no one's covering over the middle of the field unless you're throwing the ball deep down the field. There's a safety deep. Other than that, 5 guys are playing man coverage, 5 guys are rushing the passer. Pretty simple. So again, O'Connell's going to take the snap. He is going to look down the field. There is a window for him to make this throw, right? The receiver's about to cut. It looks like it's about to get open, but it's not really about making the completion for me. It's more about the accuracy of this throw. Look at how it is right on the money. He hits the receiver in stride and they're able to pick up a decent chunk play right there. Again, that probably should have been a completion, right? That's one of those you look at and say, yeah, that's one that if you're going to be an NFL caliber quarterback, you should hit. But it's where he hit it. And the fact that he hit it in a spot where his receiver was able to make the catch while moving and pick up more yards after the catch, that to me shows it was a good play by Aidan O'Connell. This play was maybe my favorite of the night from him, to be honest, because while some of these are not too high a degree of difficulty plays, and that's always one of the difficult things about evaluating preseason football in general, is just sometimes you're evaluating guys being able to hit simple throws because that's what you see in the preseason, right? It's a lot of backups and third stringers, especially when you yourself are a backup or third stringer. You don't get to just see the high level of competition, but there are still going to be plays that are well covered, right? It's not like backups can't cover routes well, and I've always kind of been of the belief of it doesn't really matter how good the corner is, in terms of how quality they are, how good were they on the specific play that we're talking about? Well, let's talk about this play where it's zone coverage. You see the route he wants to throw to, and you see why it could work. There's a gap in coverage there. O'Connell's going to take the snap. He is going to look in that direction. The receiver, I think, is doing a good job, actually, of not selling what he's about to do. He has not given away what his route is going to be, which is good. But still, he's going to cut towards the top of the screen. The corner will react to that and also cut towards the top of the screen. So O'Connell has to throw it in an area where the receiver, who's going to now gain an extra step, can make the catch, whereas the corner won't have time to get over there. And also, O'Connell has to make the throw now, because if you wait too long, then you'll run out of time because you're running towards the sideline. But look at how O'Connell puts it perfectly on the money and perfectly timed. I mean, that's a high degree of difficulty play. It is. It's a high degree of difficulty play. So we can knock O'Connell in the sense of all he's doing is making the layups, making the easy throws, and that's a ton of what he's doing. I'm not denying that. But he's also, when he has to make the tougher throws, is doing that as well. Again, something like this, I think we should bring this up as well, because a lot of people will look at throws and say, oh, well, that guy was wide open, so why do you get credit for just hitting the wide open guy? Well, sometimes you're hitting the wide open guy because you're doing stuff well on top of it, right? It's not just like, every time you throw the football, it's completely random if a guy is going to get open or not. Sometimes it's simply timing. Like something like this, it's a zone coverage play, and you have a receiver who's going to try and get in a gap in coverage. Okay, fair enough. O'Connell's going to take the snap. He looks over in that direction, and watch that when he fires it, you see the receiver, I mean, you could see when the camera hand over, he's just turning around. This is a well-timed play, and being able to get the ball there in a hurry is one of the ways that if you don't have this incredible arm talent that gets you drafted in the first round, like you see from these first rounders that got drafted then, one way we've seen guys make up for that is just having the timing down. If you get the timing down, you don't need to have a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen-esque arm because you're still getting the ball through the gap when you have to get it through the gap, and that's what we've seen from Aidan O'Connell. Is this also incredibly wide open, even all things considered? Yes, absolutely, 100%. But as you see, O'Connell makes the throw, and they're able to pick up a decent chunk play right there. It's these consistent throws that he's making that I think are getting, a lot of Raiders fans excited. This play is another example of kind of what I'm talking about, where it's a, man coverage play. You have, two players covering over the middle of the field. It's kind of cover one hole concept is what you call it, where there's a safety deep and then a linebacker over the middle. You have a receiver who's running a quick curl route, not that quick of a curl route, but a curl route on that side of the field. You have, it's man coverage, right? So 5 eligible receivers, 5 defenders covering each of those eligible receivers. 4 of those eligible receivers are lined up on the line. The halfback is in the backfield, obviously, but out of the other 4 players who are lined up on the line, what is the difference between the guy who's covering the route you see on the screen and the other 3? You notice how much further away from the line of scrimmage he is than those other 3 players. So for O'Connell, it's 2nd down and 3. You'd like to pick up a first down here. You don't have to, but it would be nice. Maybe just look in the direction of the guy who isn't playing on the line of scrimmage. That's probably an area where you can pick up some yards. O'Connell's going to take a snap, and he doesn't look anywhere else. He looks directly there and gets rid of the football very quickly. So even if the corner read it right away, he's just playing too far off. Look at the window right here. Yes, this is wide open. Yes, this is an easy throw to make, but it's an easy throw to make in part because he read the play correctly and realized where he should go with the football. As you see, it's also, once again, an accurate pass. So, this is just what we're seeing from Aidan O'Connell. And again, we can argue back and forth as to what the value of this is. I mean, we did it all last season with Brock Purdy talking about, he's looking very good, but also it is just a preseason. What do we make of all of this? All of that good stuff. And it's totally, a discussion worth having, in my opinion. But my kind of take on all of this is at the end of the day, if you're being successful, you're being successful. And to me, I don't know if Aidan O'Connell will work at the NFL level. It's hard to say when he's never played an NFL regular season game how well he could work, right? But the reality is he's had success at the college level, and he's had success at the NFL preseason level. So there is hope that he could continue to have success at the next level as well, which is the regular season. Now, maybe that hope isn't really that strong. Maybe all he can really do in terms of success would be a competent backup. But at the end of the day, that's what they drafted him for, to be a competent backup. And at the very least, it feels like he can reach those goals. So he was probably worth the, again, last pick of the 4th round selection that they drafted him, if nothing else. But there might be something else. We'll just have to wait and see about that part. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.